Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Real Loving Basketball. I am your host, Daryl Tao.
And I am Lee Tao.
Yeah, and we're Real Loving Basketball, man. We're super excited today. How you doing?
He's lying. He's lying. Proceed.
What am I lying about?
He is lying. So let's be honest. When he records this and you guys see this, we have cords broken, setup ain't the same, can't play my music.
Mama and sister's calling.
Has nothing to do with nothing. Attitudes suck. But we're here. Nobody to talk to. Proceed.
Today, man, we got a special topic, man. We're gonna get right into it. We don't have a lot of time. We gotta go to training.
Yes, that's why I'm dressed like this. I got my training clothes on. We decided to do this right before training. It's supposed to be done at 4 o'clock, but we won't even go there. So now we have less than an hour.
Probably less than that. But a topic that came to mind, just thinking of how many people look at.
We don't even have current events going on.
We ain't got time for current events. We gotta get to them.
All right, go ahead. Proceed. I'm just gonna go ahead and sit back this one. So when y'all see this one, y'all know what it is. Proceed.
So a lot of people define success in their own right, whether it's monetarily, whether it's, having a happy family, whatever it is, everybody's definition of success. Some people are happier than others. And I think that's an interesting topic because you hear it and, you see it often. And a lot of people define success too off of their social media as well. So to you, what does success look like? And or people that's around you or that you may watch from afar, have expressed that.
What does success looks like? Success, it's all defined on people's and your own perception and your own happiness. I don't think there's not one thing. Well, I think if you don't have a foundation of what your life looks like, and I think if you don't know who you are, you will define success based off of what you see. Meaning, like, I can look at all the celebrities and see where they're at, and in my mind, they're successful. Now, not saying me, but I'm just saying in general, if I don't have a strong root on who I am, I could look at anything. Somebody's driving a Benz, oh, they got to be successful. Right. Somebody lives in a mansion, oh, they have to be successful. And for me, that's a lot of times I feel like if you don't understand who you are and if you don't have your own worth and your own value and your own vision, then you are going to define success as something materialistic and tangible rather than so many other different ways that success can be defined. So that's the light topping of what I feel some people think success is.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes back to, once again, we talk about our upbringing a lot, where we're from and what we see is defined as success. Neighborhoods, man, you see cats driving the flyest cars with the biggest chains and pocket full of money.
Right.
To the average kid, man, seeing it, they like, man, that's success. Like they're winning, they winning in life. Like that's what I want to do.
Right.
And as you get older and you experience life a little bit more, and you recognize that it's not all about that. Just being, comfortable, not content. Content to me is being, not want to push the envelope, do other things, but to be comfortable in your own skin.
I have to kind of disagree with you with content.
Why?
Content is not necessarily you don't want to push forward the envelope. Contentment is, or being content is being happy where you are and not saying that you're not going to push forward. But in order to I think a lot of times people don't even gather themselves and give themselves a chance to sit in their current moments because they're striving so much and chase. So you're living a life of chase instead of living a life of enjoyment. Once you hit different levels, you got to take in those moments. And when you're taking those moments in, that's your moment of being content. But that does not necessarily mean that you're not going to get after everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't sit here and say content. This because you're this there.
You're content with where you at.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that.
So if you're content with where you at, then you may not push forward to do that next thing.
No, that's not true.
Being comfortable, like okay, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm living good. I'm comfortable, but at the same time, I'm gonna push forward.
Right.
To me, that's two different things.
For me, it's the same thing. You have. I mean, even that. I say you're lucky I'm on the phone because I will look it up. Because even in the scripture, it tells you to be content, be satisfied at where you're at. So the contentment is not saying that you're not striving. Like for me, I'm comfortable. Yes, I want more. There's absolutely, that everybody.
So you're not
knows
content then?
But no, it's not that I'm not content. I'm okay. Like if God, if for whatever reason God were to take away any of my future endeavors and this was it, I'm okay. That's for me. That's what contentment means.
Right.
When you're not okay, then you're a chaser. But contentment doesn't necessarily just because in my mind I'm content. If I could never go beyond this ceiling, I'm okay. That's being content. Do I want to go beyond? Absolutely. Right. But if for God, for whatever reason, He were to take away my limbs or something, and this was it, you know what I'm saying? Right. So you can't. For me. You can't say that being content doesn't means that you don't want more. It means that you're satisfied and enjoying the moment as you continue, in my opinion. And people might feel otherwise. Mm-hmm. My opinion, that's what that means. So I don't think that if you're content, you're not chasing anything.
Why do you think so much pressure is on like the kids and the young adults now coming from social media and feeling like? Do you think that's a big reason why they may not feel successful?
No, I think our kids, the next generation, is spoiled. They don't know what pressure is like. I don't think they really have to strive because everything's at their fingertips.
Yeah, but not even just about the kids. It's adults that feel the same way. They looking and scrolling and say, I don't have this. Yeah, I don't have that.
I think as
adults, I'm not successful. But if you sit back and look back and what you have, and if you are truly grateful, you like, dang, you know what? I got this. I am successful. I may not be successful to, the public in their eyes on having this and that, but I'm successful. I'm doing better than a lot of, celebrities. A lot of celebrities are not happy.
Absolutely. So that's my point. So when you say define success, for me, like you said, I'm agreeing with you where in the sense of success for me is all within what your own personal viewings. Right. So success for me is the fact that I had the ability to have 2 beautiful babies. Right. I had the ability to have a relationship and get married. I had the ability to be able to live in my own and drive my own car. I had the ability to create my own business. For me, that's success, right? Mm-hmm. But to somebody else, they could have all that, but their definition of success is, I got to be in the big house. I got to have the pool. I got to have the fully loaded bank account, and I got to have the nicest car. Even though they might be where we are right now, right? This is not successful to them. They want that. That next level is the success. So I think it's defining on who you are as a person. Right. But I think but that's where I feel people put unnecessary pressure on themselves because, again, I think a lot
why you do that like that? Like you alluded to, I'm in that situation.
Sometimes the shoe fits. But I think that a lot of people just don't take moments, and even I can be a victim of this, but don't take moments to just be grateful in the moments that they're in. Mm-hmm. It's I gotta chase, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, and then when I get there, then I can. And it's like, no, you gotta be grateful over the small things. I mean, even simple journeys, like people losing weight, and again, I can attest to this too. You lose 2 pounds, but you looking at your next friend who lost 10. But you ain't getting over the hump that you just lost 2. Mm-hmm. Like 2 is a hard number. As simple as it sounds, it can be very hard. So I think in the journeys of success, a lot of people, many people aren't grateful for their moments.
Yeah. You'll be surprised at how many people I talked to and interviewed that did major things that went back and like, you know what, I haven't got a chance to sit back and evaluate my situation or where I come from to where I'm at now. What I got, because I just been on the go, just making things happen. It's shocking. You know what I mean?
I believe it. But I think that's also understanding like the pressures that people put on themselves. Like a lot of people live for the eyes of everybody else. Oh, I done put this out here, so I gotta make this happen. So that's where my end all be all is gonna be. But people are living in moments and not understanding the gift that they have to even just wake up in the morning. So now you grinding and you're focused and you're head down trying to get to that level, and something happens and you miss life, or you lose your life, or you lose somebody close to you because you were so gung-ho about the win, and then you sitting there like, dang, I should have been there. I should have been at that baseball game. I should have been that phone call that they need. I felt them. I knew I wanted to call them. Something said call them, but this paperwork had to get done. Or I had to do this, or this. I had to go connect with this person because this person's going to give me the leverage to the next. Like, that's what I'm saying. As people journey, and I think that's again, and I'm in a whole different world when it comes to life. I feel because I value presence. I value people currently. I've seen too many people just randomly die. I've seen too many moments people get sick, and instead of chasing a dream, they're focusing on health. I just seen too many things where it's like, okay, that's going to be, if God gifted you and made you a purpose and gave you vision and gave you this, and he promised according to his will for your life, that this was your end all. And I truly believe you'll get to the end all. So on your journey, it's just like there's a past sermon out there called, what do you do in the wait? What are you going to do in the wait till you get to that end goal that you have? How are you handling the small pieces that are given to you? How are you being, what's the word? Not being cautious, but really nurturing your moments. Are you going to skip over these moments? I'm giving you this. I'm giving you your baby's first steps. I'm giving you this date. I'm giving you this person, this friend that's trying to feed into you. But you're so focused on this for success that you miss these nuggets that are necessary for you to truly not even just become successful, but could be necessary for you to keep that success. So, I mean, it's just, I just see things differently. I like the moment. I like to sit here. I see the future, but I'm going to enjoy this journey as I go alongside, because if God forbid I'm not going to be here tomorrow, I'm going to live today to the fullest.
Yeah. And I think if you look at it that way, you will feel like you're successful in a sense, because you get an opportunity to see the little small wins, seeing the things that you have accomplished in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? And I go back to last weekend when we was filming Roy Williams. Yes, I'm behind the camera, and yes, I'm looking through a monitor, but then I just had to close the monitor a little bit and look at him directly, because like, yo, this is a huge moment. And I may missing it, and even though I'm there, I wasn't there. And I think that can apply to many things that we see daily in life. I do think it's a balance, though. I think you can be a person who be content or be comfortable where you at with the small wins, but I also think too, you can see a vision for yourself and your family that's beyond what you may see, or other people may see around you. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's nothing wrong with going chase that, as long as you can find balance.
Absolutely.
But it's a lot of times too, if you're a grinder, if you're a visionary, and I'm a victim of it too, you can go so hard at the joint, you'll forget about that. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you can find yourself, and the people that I did talk to about that, they say, man, you know what? I need to do that more often. You know what I'm saying?
Do what?
They need to sit back and observe how far they've come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if more people did that, it'd be a lot more people feel like they're successful and not just out there running around.
I mean, and when you get to so the thing is, for me, when people gets to that end goals, then what? Like, and we've talked about it, in our sessions and stuff that we have, like, you win. Who's the people who was there for you and truly rooting for you from the beginning? If you don't enjoy the moments, like you said, the balance, who's going to be there for you in the end? When you're so gun-ho, and I think that's that for me, again, the missing element when it becomes to be successful. To be successful for me is wherever it is, whether it's in the moment or when it gets to the end goal of where I see where I want to be. If I don't have the most important people around me there, I don't feel like I'm successful. Now, and that's what they say all the time. A lot of people say, it's lonely at the top.
Right.
I don't want to be lonely. God made us to be with other people. He did not make us to be loners. You know what I'm saying? He made us to be servants of others. He made us for other people, to be in fellowship and stuff with other people. So if I make it to the top and I ain't got my core with me while I'm there, what was it? Was it all worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
am I successful?
I think that term is a little bit, when you say lonely at the top, is because your core may not be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'd probably be somebody that you haven't even knew that long. They came along your journey at the right time who fits.
No, I don't agree with that.
I mean, but also too, not even just fit what you're doing. It fit your vibe or they're just in alignment. You see what I'm saying? Like the same people that was in your life that started off with your life, what they do, not you specifically, they fell off. That's because their season was up. That because you grew, whether in business or personal development, they don't fit what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's different. When they say it's lonely at the top, when you get to the top, how many times have you heard people at the top that talk about the snakes and the people that wasn't right? And even when they say the more to whom much is given, much is required. So the more you get to the top, the more that you gotta take on. I truly believe your core. When I say your core, I'm talking about like your number ones who has supported, pushed, who has never wanted anything from you, who continues to that's pray over you, pray with you, see you through, is a listening board. If you don't value those people and you get to the top, that's what the lonely to me means. And it's not necessarily great. Somebody who vibes with you now gets it. That's one aspect of life. That person who vibes with you can't be your confidant, can't be your lover, can't be that unless that's the person you end up marrying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's true when it says when you get to the top, you don't have the right people around. You don't have your core, your people who stuck with you and who are in it to win it without anything in return. That to me is what it is. And if you can't value those people, it's lonely at the top. You absolutely gonna be surrounded by a whole new group of folks. You're gonna be surrounded by the people who might have came halfway through and their little gems help boost you. Cool. But there's nothing like having somebody who was there from the day one, or people who were there from the day one of your journey to get to the top. That for me, that's a value you can't put on anything.
Right, for sure. And y'all gotta have the not the same definition of success, but they gotta be around the same ballpark. Because if not, you're gonna pin something on me or try to slow me down when I'm not there, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
So with that being said, then how does somebody get through that? How does somebody get understanding of that?
You have the right alignment around you. That's it. Well, that's what I said. Whether it's somebody from the day one or somebody that came along the journey, it's all about alignment. You see what I'm saying?
A lot of
God can put people in your life that's going. Steve Harvey said all the time. There you go, said, I want to be Steve Harvey, but it's true. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's a season and a reason, but as long as you keep your core values, you keep, what God got for you in your life in front, I think you'd be fine and put things in perspective.
I think, though, if you're not truly ministering to yourself, if you're not truly seeking God's wisdom, and I think that's what happens a lot of time as people climb the ladder of success, you get caught up in the daily to-dos and you forget who gave you the vision in the first place. For me, your daily has to be to truly understand. Like when I think of somebody who's truly successful, and I don't even know this person, and I would love to truly have a sit-down conversation to get what their mental looks like. But Pastor Michael Todd over there at Transformation Church is a man with a vision and purpose, but it's more so how real he is and transparent he is. about his journey. And one of the things that he embodies daily is before he makes any thought, any move, any declaration, he is going to God every single time. And that takes a lot. Like I try to get to my prayer closet every day, and I missed the past 2 days. I was on a nice streak and then I missed the past 2 days. So you have to be so intentional to create that kind of relationship with God that you're able to, before I look at the phone and look at the clock and look at my Instagram, I'm paying my homage to you. Before I do anything, let me sit down and talk to you. Before I decide I'm gonna take this $2,000 loan, let me talk, and that's what he emphasizes over and over and over again. And for me to be able to create that mindset, to be able to create that due diligence, that right there puts so much other things into perspective easier for you than when you get caught up doing the chase, when you get caught up going after and scheduling and this, that, and the third and doing the work. If you can't sit and put your tail down in front of God before you make any move, I think at some point that chase is going to bite you right in your tail, because you're going to miss certain things. You're going to miss certain turns that he's calling you to do. You're going to miss certain things that he's telling you, nope, that's not what you want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think for me, that gets you to the successes that you're looking for. And that also gives you the peace that you need too in life when you hit moments. The journey to success, whatever your definition is. Bless you. I can't wait for y'all to see this.
Go ahead.
I need to go get my mask. Anyways, I see what I'm saying? Y'all see this? This is how this whole day has been going. Just foolishness like this.
But now people can't even cough no more.
Huh?
Or sneeze.
Dad, you made it awkward. If you would have just said,
I tried to hold it in. I was trying to hold it in for 3 minutes.
Well, that's dumb. Now you look like you got the whole virus in your face. Look at your eyes.
So what happened to the flu?
What do you mean what
happened to people getting colds and stuff? That's what I want to know. Where'd it go?
Oh my gosh, I'm not having this conversation
it's
with
a
you.
question I'm
if
saying.
Anybody has the time of day to entertain all Daryl's conspiracy theories about this
it's not a conspiracy theory. I think it's real.
And everything. Yeah, it is
real.
I'm
asking, what happened to the cold and flu?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's like went on vacation, right?
Oh my
gosh. Everything is COVID.
See, you see how the enemy just completely, he knew I was right on track with some good wisdom. You see how the enemy just kind of slid in there to get me off track of what I was trying to say? That was necessary. Let this be an example of distraction. Remember when we talked about the first episode? This is episode number 3. Episode 1, this is 3, right? Episode 1, we talked about distractions. You see how I was trying to give y'all the word of what he says and how you got to pay homage to him daily. Mm-hmm. I bind that up, enemy. You tried it.
Bind it up.
Daily. Do everything with him. Prayer and supplicate, prayer and petition. Okay? And all things will be added unto you. That's 2 different verses I just put together. But that's what I'm trying to say is you need to pray, you need to petition, you need to go seek God first. That's where I'm at with everything. I'm not even trying to make that's why I say Michael Todd is dope. And again, we could have a conversation with him and Natalie be like, Pastor Natalie be like, oh no, it ain't what y'all saying, ain't nothing what I'm talking about, what y'all be thinking. Could totally happen because we can't speak into people's situations we know nothing about. But on the face value and off of the word that this man be talking about, he is dedicated to, I don't do, and he writes his stuff down. He has proof. That's the thing about him that I can respect too. He has a vision. He wrote it down. He prayed with it with his wife. They came into unison about it. And then they did the due diligence in the wait, while not just, he's bought a stadium, debt free, you know what I'm saying? And then pulls out the paperwork from 5-6 years ago when he spoke when this was going to happen. Like, to be able to manifest that and be able to be diligent with it. And then he would say, my surrounding parties, I would pray about it, and then we would have prayer meetings. We would go into the facilities that we wanted. We would do this, that, and third. You gotta, like he said on his new series, you gotta have crazy faith. But for me, if you want that success, for me, that's success when it's grounded in the root of God. When God gave you a vision and you completely have been obedient, and you get to the millions and the buildings and the name, yo, that's permanent. Like, what God has given can't no man take apart. You know what I'm saying? So if he's giving you that and he solidified that, no man can take it apart. But when you start moving in your own will and you start moving in your own pace and you doing half prayers, but you still moving and making decisions on your own, it's going to be a nice dusty line there that's going to happen where at some point it's going to be shaky. You either going to go the way of the flesh or you're going to go the way that God has called you. And there's going to be a hard defining line that's going to cause you to choose at some point because you haven't been faithful and you've been making decisions on your own. So that's why when I say success, that to me is success. When you can truly be like, yo, I've been in prayer every day and he said do this, or I heard this, or I felt this, or this door opened and I walked through that door and things just started lining up without even having to think. Like, that, for me, is success. Now, to everybody else...
I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
So to everybody else, success could be, well, I don't know how you get there, but as long as I got the car and the crib,
right?
You know what I mean? It is what it is. But, I mean, it's just, for me, it's different. And then, again, in the road and the journey to get to that point, to be able to be content in your moments, to be able to see things for what it's worth, to be able to experience life today, because tomorrow is not promised. So I would hate for today to happen and you're gone tomorrow and you didn't kiss your loved ones. You didn't hug your babies. You didn't say you loved your person that you're in love with. You didn't, reach out to the friend. You felt it on your heart. You're supposed to reach out to this friend, but you didn't reach out to him and then you're gone. Like, That's how I live. That's my definition of what success is.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. As long as you're healthy and you're happy, I think another definition of success is being happy and being and having freedom. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are going through life and feeling trapped. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the workplace or in the relationship and all these things that come about daily, having that freedom and sense of peace.
How do you have freedom in a relationship? What do you mean?
Freedom in the sense of, I'm just talking about like entrepreneurship. You see what I'm saying?
What's that got to do with a relationship?
How you have freedom in a relationship? I mean, no, you have peace in a relationship. You're happy in a relationship.
Oh, you said freedom. Well, it's just,
no, free.
Just clarify for the people. You gotta watch him, yo, because his words, he don't realize stuff that he be saying. That's why I gotta define. I gotta go back and let's define what we talking about here, so we don't be directing people in the wrong way. We live in the new millennium. People be tripping, so you got to be very specific and cautious with your words. Now,
what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
Y'all
know what I'm saying.
Happy in relationships and having freedom to be able to move how you want to move without a ton of restrictions. If you're going to be restricted, it's at your own cost or at your own...
What is we talking about? What does you mean restrict? What kind of relationship is we talking about right now?
I'm talking about a workplace.
You said... Now we got you on film. Who's on my live? Keisha, listen, reiterate what I said. She said, I just had a cold. He be saying stuff, when y'all listen, comment on what this dude just said. I just want to make sure we don't be tripping because this is why I wish we did have a reality TV show, because I promise you I would make all the live cameras rewind things that he says. He don't realize what he be saying. We had talked about freedom. We started with freedom.
Yes.
You said freedom in the workplace.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you slid in relationships. I got it on tape.
Happiness.
Okay, and happy.
Yeah.
Listen, which adjective are we talking about right now?
What I'm saying is freedom and happiness.
Okay, freedom and
Yeah,
happiness
absolutely.
in the workplace, in the relationships, in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all terming towards success.
Yeah, I mean, if you happy, if you can go day by day and you happy, and you can put a smile on your face. You know, like some people we know, every time you see them, they happy. They intentional about making themselves feel good or making other people feel good.
See,
That's a form of like success for real.
But see, that's for me, it's not. Happiness to me is an emotion. Emotions go up and down all over the place. It's the contentment behind that happiness. So I could be perfectly content with my situation, but in the moment I could be sad. I could be angry, but I'm still content in my situation. So I think emotions for me is very touch and go, because you can be anything at any moment, but it doesn't define your status.
Right, but for you to be able to do that, a lot of people are not. A lot of people commit suicide. A lot of people are depressed every day. So for you to be able to...
Yeah, because they're not content with what their situation.
Right, but if you can be able to control that emotion and still be lively and upbeat, in my opinion, that is
So I think...
If you could do that every day.
I think, okay, so I can agree to that. If you're intentional about how to control your emotions, but where is those emotions stemming from? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Where do the emotions stem from? If your emotions is based off of your status, then that's what's going to give you this emotion. Mm-hmm. If your emotion is based off of who you're with, that's going to give you this emotion. If your emotion is based off of if you're in a relationship, I think that's, again, at your foundation or whatever your current situation is what's going to define your emotion. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if I'm not happy with, or I'm not in the relationship that I want, then yeah, it's going to drive me to be upset. But if that's my end all be it, and I think that's it too. If you can't find balance amongst your whole life, so relationship wise sucks, but business is great and money is great and this is great, then what's driving my emotion? All of it combined, which overall I think you would probably be happy, or is it just the fact that you forget everything else and I'm just focused on the fact that I don't have the relationship I want, so I'm gonna be miserable. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Happiness, when you say, I think, you should be able to be happy and all this kind of stuff. Happiness is defined by what exactly is you finding happiness in. Like,
what makes you happy at the end of the day?
Right. Where does your full emotion come from? But that's what I'm saying. If you can't fully be happy with all aspects of your life, then you're not going to have the happy life that you want.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a constant thing. And through it all, you should be able to sit back and observe, like we were talking about earlier, and say, hey, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing right here. I'm excited about this, but I have to work on this. But through it all, you know what I mean, what you leading to, and that you're doing a great job.
Yeah. I think a lot of that comes from, you have to generate that yourself. I think a lot of people find happiness in things and people.
Right, but that's my point though, to be able to do that. Because a lot of people can't do it. They commit suicide, they being depressed, and they all that.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. And then on the entrepreneur side, you know how many people hate their job? You see what I'm saying? They go to work every day, and at any moment, somebody can say, yo, get out of you fired.
Right.
Your whole livelihood messed up.
Right.
You have no check. You got to feed your family and all this stuff. So to be able to move and wake up and do what you want to do, create what you want to create, that is success.
So yes, yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think also, like you said, part of it is too. I think it also all goes back to you as an individual. When chaos and adversity hits, your favorite word, how do you pivot in those moments? I just had the greatest job in the world. I'm the breadwinner of the family, and then I lose everything. Do I lose my mind? I don't lose everything. I lose my job. Do I lose my mind and be depressed and be sad? Or do I pivot and do the next thing, to make things ends meet? You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think I think just at the end of the day, it's all based on the individual and what you're willing to do. And I think it's, learning how to change perspective on life. Understanding what's important to you, understanding that at any given moment, the things of this world can be taken from you. So if you can you live your life content at where you're at, outside of your drives, outside of everything else? Are you content with you and who you are and what you stand for and your loyalties and all that kind of stuff? Other than outside of business, if you can look at yourself and be content with who you are and what your vision and your morals and all that kind of stuff, I think that is the driver to everything else too, outside of being very faithful. I think if you truly understand who you are, all the rest of this will help work it out.
Nah, that's true. The knowing yourself and knowing where you want to be and knowing what you feel like God have you on this earth to do is a huge part of it. You know what I mean? Like you can have, whether you say like whether you writing it down, or you got a mental note, or you got a voice recorder and say, hey, this is where I want to be at this point in time in life, and this is what will make me happy. Whether it's the big house, whether it's the, you know what I mean, whether it's the family, whether it's millions of dollars, or maybe it's 100,000, you know what I mean, or maybe it's 10,000 a month, or whatever it is. Whatever makes you happy as an individual, and drives you towards that, I think that's a definition of success within their own right.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it, you know what I mean?
I think though, I agree with that because of course those are the things that I want. But I'm also personally trying to get out of that defining my happiness. What you mean? Meaning what if you don't ever get the house you ever wanted? What if you don't ever have the millions in the bank? Is that going to drive my whole rest of my life? And I think when you, in my mind and my thought process, when you start to define your happiness on material, and I said this in the beginning, when the happiness is defined on the material aspects of life, I think you miss the mark. Because your happiness, your contentment, your peace should be driven within. It should not matter what your outside world looks like. It should be driven within. I've seen homeless people just completely at peace. Don't have nothing. Don't have a pot to piss in, but they're at peace. That to me is a level of success that a lot of us in America can't deal with because we don't know how to operate without this kind of food and without this kind of house and without this kind of bank account. That's what I want to be. That's the kind of peace and success I want to be.
You want the peace, but you don't want to be on that corner though.
But no, that's what I'm saying. But listen, that's what I'm saying.
Peace and all that, but
no, because that's where people take for granted. If that is your definition, you're going to be hurt if God forbid it doesn't happen.
No, I'm not saying that's the definition, but at the end of the day, that's why I go back to balance. Yeah, you can, you know what I'm saying? Like you can be happy and all that, but you ain't gonna want to trade places with that person.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In the sense of the feeling, absolutely. I would love to feel a life of what complete peace looks like. Peace and serenity, where nothing really fazes me. Okay, that didn't work. To be able to walk through life and stuff happen and you can just be like, you know what? I thank God that I'm still here.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that, you can't measure that. To get to that point of life, that's a crazy lifestyle, a crazy mentality that you truly have to embark on to be able to carry that.
Right.
And I think it's very hard for many people. I mean, even myself, to get to that point. I strive to get there. I would love to get to the point where, they want to act up. It's all right. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do my due diligence, right? But I'm not going to let it sweat me. Okay, they want to talk about me? Cool, that's all right. It sucks, but let me go ahead and let me get peace and have peace about it. I didn't make it today to the interview or to the, the next level. I thought I was going to get the $10,000 check today, but I didn't. You know what? God got to have grace. To get to that point, for me, that's totally hard to come by. And that's a success you can't put a dollar sign on. That's a piece. To put a dollar sign on your peace,
right?
there's no amount of money to have that.
Yeah.
And
one thing I was thinking about too is just how athletes, we spend like 3/4 of our lives playing a sport, but then when it's all over, we take this time, we in this gray area. We don't know what's next. But not especially some guys who, you know, had NBA trials or playing the league for a year. Some people don't even reach that level. Some people don't even play Division I basketball. But then when you look back at all the relationships that you had or have because of a round ball that can pull you into so many different opportunities, I think we should spend more time on thinking about that and pushing towards, you know, the blessings of that.
Right, but that goes to recognizing your moments, your contentment. See, for like you said, for a lot of athletes, they see it's done. I can't play no more. They're not thinking like you're thinking, like, hey, I can't play no more, but yo, I connected with this person. I could just reach out because of who I am and the connections I made through that this vehicle of the game then brought me.
Right.
And so that's you totally told my point. Like, take in those moments. Like when you're playing, if you're playing and you get the opportunity, you're at Duke and you get to play against UNC, yo, and you played the best game of your life and everybody's recognized you. That's a moment that you got to sit in and remember it and take that in, because I guarantee you later in life when the ball goes flat, I can reach back out to these people and be like, yo, and they know exactly who you see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
But if you don't have that moment, if you're not embracing the moments, and if you're not being content in your current position, you're going to miss that opportunity, and you're only going to think about, well, I should have been in the NBA, but I'm not. Instead of being like, all right, I could have been in the NBA, but dang, look at these relationships I have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, I think people's definitions of success should be different. I think everybody should carry their own personal definition of success. I absolutely believe that if your success is really driven on material things, at some point your feelings are going to be hurt.
Yeah, that's say short shit.
Oh, we cussing? He's going to edit that out. You was on one today. Tell you what. Anyways, well, like we told y'all, this is going to be short-lived because we have to go to training. We got to be out of here in the next 7 minutes. So, episode 3 was super short. We will be back on it, timely, live, with a beautiful camera and everything rolling.
Yeah, next week.
Because he's going to get his pieces and stuff together. He's going to get his piece together. Amen. Hallelujah. Everybody touch and agree. Don't be trying to tell. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Until next time, y'all.